Hi guys, and welcome to WBC2. Today it's going to be another vlog, but this time it's a little bit of a rant. Now, you could be wondering, why do I want to have a rant now? Well, some shocking news has come to light that the BBC have decided to axe BBC Three. Now, for, let's say, the age group between 16 to 35, this is an absolute travesty. How dare the BBC cut one of its most popular channels with some of the greatest comedy on TV? In my opinion, anyway. I have to admit, BBC Three is basically the channel I watch the most. It's my favourite programmes are on there, from the likes of Bad Education to those that are brought in from America, like Family Guy and American Dad. Other ones I currently watch are like Bluestone 4-2, which is really funny about the army. And there's even a couple from Australia, like one called Jamais, and they've got another one called Jonah coming soon, which is really, really funny. And unfortunately, if BBC Three does actually get shut down, this will mean the loss of some of these channels and programmes. But they say, oh, it's okay, we'll put them all on the iPlayer. Well, for the likes of Family Guy and American Dad, which are two of the more popular programmes, the mainstays of BBC Three, they've been there for a number of years now, they can't go on the iPlayer because the BBC does not currently hasn't obtained the licences to put them on demand. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to change either, because they're not available on demand in the UK unless you illegally watch them, which is a bad thing to do. I decided, in order to help me back up my reasons why BBC Three should be saved, I brought up some stats. Now, these figures are how the BBC spend their money in 2011, so this is a few years ago. So, for example, the BBC spent £112.9 million on BBC Three in the year 2011. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? Because, well, honestly, it is a lot of money. But the BBC spent £1,337.6 million on BBC One. They spent £537.1 million on BBC Two. And BBC Two is boring. And yet they insist we're going to axe BBC Three. And they said, oh, we'll move it onto the iPlayer, it's okay. No, it is not okay to just mess with a really important channel. They've only just recently launched the BBC HD channel, which is really good. It's like I've been wanting to see Bad Education in HD, and now I can. It's an absolute joke. An absolute joke. The BBC say they want to cut back their spending. So, they're saying that the current figures state, as of 2014, that they are going to, that the BBC currently spends about £90 million now on BBC Three, and that will be cut, according to what I've read on the BBC News, that will be cut to 25 million, because they obviously still have to spend some to make the programmes that are going to go onto the iPlayer. But what's a real joke is that half of the money is supposedly going to be spent on BBC One drama. Now, I'm sorry, but the 2011 figures state that £1,337.6 million was spent on BBC One in that year. So, explain to me how half of BBC Three's current money should be spent on more drama. They have enough drama and they have enough money. They make about £5 billion a year in revenue. They don't even spend all that on their entire services. So they're going to say, okay, this would be nice and simple. Let's invest more money into the drama. Ugh, boring. Do not care one bit. I care about comedy. That is what I watch. And many people my age and older and younger watch comedy. And BBC's main comedy channel will get shut down. That's a joke. This absolute pile of crap. And yet people have argued, well, why don't they cancel BBC Four, the most pointless broadcasting channel ever made? Tonight, when I watched BBC Four, they were looking about how animals sleep at night. Now, talk about boring the life out of me. How could you ever watch such a programme? I mean, you would genuinely fall asleep watching that, whether it be at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You know? It's a joke. And some of the programmes that BBC Three make, they say, right, we will put them on the iPlayer. So Bad Education will most likely stay. I mean, that's one of the most popular ones. But there are going to be other comedies and other programmes that don't make it onto the BBC iPlayer and that will disappear from TV completely. Some are going to be put onto BBC One and BBC Two as comedies, but what's the point? BBC Two doesn't need comedy, it's boring enough as it is. I only ever watch BBC Two when there's sport on it. Usually rugby or athletics or Wimbledon when that's on. But I don't see a point anymore. They shut down BBC Three and sayonara BBC, you can forget a licence payer here. Why pay a licence fee when you don't receive the programmes you want? You pay a licence fee, you pay it just to the BBC, and yet it entitles you to watch Sky TV or Virgin Media or BT or anything else. That TV licence is about £150 a year and it entitles you to watch any TV, but yet all that money goes to the BBC. Why? Because they're too proud and pompous to have adverts. What's the harm in adverts? We have them on every other channel. Why not the BBC? What is the point?
We're not allowed to.
Well, anyway, basically, I'm gutted that they want to cancel BBC Three. There is still hope. If you go on change.org, you can sign a petition to try and save BBC Three. Last time I checked, it had about 63,000 signatures. Now, if you agree with me, please like this video, because it's important that we can get as many people on side as possible to try and save this great channel. But at the same time, if you have a differing opinion, or you just want to tell me some more stuff, leave a comment below, and I'm happy to check it out and get back to you. So guys, this has been my rant on the BBC and their stupid decision to get rid of BBC Three. See you later guys, bye!